welcome back to the IQ show. It's IQ, as always, with the slick bag and everything. Here we have Carmen. Carmen, how are you today?
How are you, everybody? Well, I'm super happy to be here. What a pleasure to be with you.
It is quite a pleasure for you to be here as well, if I may say. You know what I'm saying? But
I didn't know how high my IQ had to be in your show, but I'm praying that it's high enough to have the honor.
Oh, trust me, it's high enough. It's high enough. It's high enough.
But thank you for the invite.
Of course.
And thank you for the platform in order to continue to bring vital information to everybody who's listening, parents, kids, students, and everybody, right? And even people who are in the industry. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes being on the streets is a little bit different from being in the field itself. Mm-hmm. But I thank you for that, and I thank you for your interest and for what you're doing for the community.
Of course, of course. So tell us about your foundation.
Oh, okay. Where do I start? Well, Iman's Life Foundation was born out of a personal tragedy. But before that, so that people can have an idea where we come from, before that I was already a child and youth advocate. I've been working with the PTSA Broward County for over 15 years. I actually started when I was 12 with my dad with World Vision. For anybody who remembers World Vision, my parents were very involved with the organization, and so was I. Anything with animals, children, and the planet, that was me. And I love that. I love that they introduced us to that and to the immigrants, and that was part of our growing up. I've had the pleasure to work with many different organizations and foundations throughout my life. La Liga contra el Cáncer, OTI, so many different organizations. And Iman's Light came to be, again, from a personal tragedy. And I realized that even though I was an instructor of violence, and we were teaching violence and nonviolence communication. We were teaching anger management. We were doing all of these things in our schools throughout over 13 years, that it never dawned on me how easily a child or a youth can come into contact with a lethal substance, because it just didn't dawn on us. It's not something you see in the suburbs. It's not something that you think is ever going to happen to you or to kids who are coming from a good house, good background. Not that that matters nowadays, because the landscape of drugs have completely changed, but it is something that you never think is going to happen to you. Mm. So the foundation was born in 23, and what we do is awareness, prevention, and education against anything and everything that has to do with addiction, with drugs, especially the street cannabis. Mm-hmm. The synthetic cannabis, mm-hmm. the vapes that everybody feels like is such an innocent instrument to use that is better than cigarettes, and actually it is not. Mm-hmm. We touch very heavily into everything that has to do with fentanyl, carfentanil, ketamine, psilocybin, of course all the opiates, the MDMAs. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like bringing awareness into all that. What we do in the process and the teaching of it is that I don't think that we can touch subjects without critical thinking. Mm-hmm. Because I am not the one that has to say no. I want the kids to ask, why would I want to risk my life knowing that there's people, entities, cartels, and evil that is just going after you because you're a child, because you're a youth, right? Mm-hmm. So what we intend to do is to arm them with information that they themselves are figuring it out. This is how they're getting to us. And that is where the power comes in. Of course, emotional intelligence, but that's as they get older. Yeah. But critical thinking is that I want you to understand, why are they selling this cheaper when it's more lethal? And this one, you know what I'm saying? For you to deduce by yourself that you are the target, that they're going after you, that the war is on you. So that is the main object and objective, I would say, of what we're doing and how I would like to proceed with this and start as young as 4th grade.
As young as 4th grade?
As young as 4th grade.
So the drug problem has gotten that bad where now 4th graders need to be aware of it, right?
Well, if you're vaping in 6th grade, and you are touching street cannabis in 6th grade, which is what, 11 or 12 years old, then where did you hear about this? Just when you walked into 6th grade, or did somebody already was talking to you about this stuff since you were in elementary school, or you heard it in 5th grade? So I don't know if 5th grade, but for sure, I want to start in 4th grade because I don't know if somebody's going to bring up the conversation when you're in 5th grade, or want to introduce you to something. What are you, like 10 years old? You know, 10, 11 years old.
Of course.
How is this child going to discern? Kids are trusting.
Yeah.
Kids trust their friends. Kids trust that if a friend did something, it's okay because nothing happened to them.
Yeah.
But what kids don't understand, which is one of the things that I love to talk about when I am in elementary school, is that your biology is different than mine. We're all human.
Yes.
But I don't know what your predispositions are. I don't know what can affect you more than it affects me. So as you know, because we've heard of cases, a kid in high school cuts a pill and one of them takes half, the other one takes the other half, one dies and the other one doesn't. That's your body, that's your predisposition, that is your tolerance. We don't know internally what is our threshold for neither addiction or for something that's going to affect us, right?
Yes.
It's like medicine.
Yeah.
It is designed the milligrams for you, for your weight, for your body, for your diseases, predisposition, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think that kids, it's a child. I don't think they understand all of it, what's happening with their brain. And their, you know what I'm saying?
Of course they don't understand because
That's
you're
a lot of
10.
biology.
No,
Exactly.
Yeah, you're
exactly.
10. The only thing you're obsessed about, like the only thing you think about nowadays is like Fortnite. It's basically it.
Exactly.
Fortnite and that one cute girl in the back of your class. You know.
Exactly. And my friends are cool and they're doing this and they're doing
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that you are going to have the same experience with the same product. At least of all, we don't really know.
No, I mean,
Right?
same thing with weed. Like I've had many friends of mine try weed. They say it's great. I've had other friends try weed and like they have the whole like like one guy.
Exactly.
One guy tried weed for the first time, right? They he took too much of a big hit, right? And everyone knows like that one guy takes too much of a big hit, right? The dude had a whole like fictional like world. He was like the dude, like it was like nighttime and a
Yes,
campfire.
yes.
There was no moon. Everything's dark.
Yes.
And he's just sitting there, just paranoid.
He had a
For like 10 minutes.
He had a psychotic episode.
No, yeah. And no, but and then my other friend tried it as well. This is funny. This is really funny. So they're in this Airbnb, right? And they're renting it out. And one friend has like medicinal marijuana. It's medical. But he tried it.
It has been prescribed for him.
It's been prescribed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at least you know it's coming from a dispensary. Nothing else is
It's
added.
legal. It's totally legal.
It's
totally
totally
legal.
legal,
And so he has it. He tries it, right? He tries a hit, right? And you can see him like, oh,
Yeah.
and he's like looking at like the ceiling. Just look at the ceiling for like 5 minutes, and he's just like squinting at it.
Okay.
No, and it's like a very curious. It's like the type of squint like a child when he sees like a car and like, what is that? And he's looking up and he just sees the fire. He's staring at the fire alarm. And everyone's just looking at him like, what's he staring at? And I just look at him like, hello, like Dave, and he's looking up and he's like, yo, it's a UFO. He thought it was a UFO. It's a UFO, bro. I'm like, as I started taking on after, I'm like, and then the guy who gave him the weed was like, oh, I did not see this coming. He thought it was a UFO.
That's right.
And then my other friend in the background, he's like making voices like, I have come for your brain or whatever. And he's like, yo, they're coming for us, dog. They're coming for us. And he's running around and we're like, calm down. And then he looks at it again. He's like, wait a minute. Dog, it's a parachute. Like, I don't know what happened. No, yeah, he had a whole like, thing.
He had a whole psychotic episode.
No, yeah. Like, and I was laughing so, I felt bad for the guy, but I was laughing so hard.
Of course.
I was hiding under the bed. I was like, this can't be happening.
Of course. And what
He's
people,
not-
you know,
no, yeah.
and that's what it is. It's funny.
No, yeah, it's funny.
It's very funny.
It's very funny.
If you're that age, it's very funny.
Yeah.
It's very funny, but if you're 10 years old and that same episode happens to you,
Yeah, you're traumatized there.
not only you're traumatized, I don't know what other things you're affecting in that brain, because that brain right now is information. That brain is making new connections. Those receptors are very sensitive. Children, I remember seeing pediatricians or talking to pediatricians when the kids were little, and they normally don't want to give certain medicines because they don't know what a child could be allergic to. And their allergic reactions for children could be very serious. So imagine that this is a pediatrician, this is medicine. So imagine that you're experimenting with something out there that you never know what reaction is going to take from you. And listen, I'm going to be very honest. Not that I don't care, but I think if you're 25 years old or you're over 21 and you've had a chance to have a brain that was free of stuff and you want to try something, I don't need a condom or not condom. You're an adult. You can make those adult decisions. What I am completely against is introducing children to any substances.
Yeah.
Because you are affecting the connections of the brain. Because you are affecting that child's biology.
And regarding the whole, like, I guess as right now we're in the whole thing with fentanyl now and the whole Venezuela thing and all that, the whole drug war we're at right now. Which is reaching its like peak right now, because like Venezuela, Maduro, the border, all that stuff.
It's been going on for a long.
It's been going on for a long time, but now it's like hit the point where like now we're like, oh, like we're blaming this country, we might invade this, the whole 9 yards, right? Rumors are going everywhere, right?
Right.
And it's just like, think about like the reason why, like in terms of like popularity, right? Like the reason why weed will always be the most popular drug is because the high is great. And if you smoke it, you're not gonna die from it. You know what I mean? Well, like if you smoke it for
you're not gonna die from smoking it. But what I can tell you is that there has been a few cases where you're not dying from smoking it. You're dying from the reaction that you have. That if you have a psychotic episode, I can bring you one case that was sent to me the other day, where the guy had a psychotic episode and threw himself off a 4th floor. So this is the part where I'm saying, the weed has changed.
Yes.
Let's call it, like I said the other day, this is not your mama's weed. Let's put that on the table. This is
some real man weed.
I don't know if it's real man or real woman. All I can tell you is that the landscape of drugs have changed. I don't think that people understand that the higher the THC, the more you have substances that are mind altering. It's just simple as that. It is effective because it is mind altering, right? But what is high THC doing to your brain? We don't know that. We don't have the studies.
Yeah.
I remember when I was going to school back in the 80s, okay? So
so back in the 80s.
Yes, of course.
So the cocaine era.
Marijuana, yes, of course. Marijuana was everywhere. We had our friends who were the potheads. We used to call them the potheads. In the corner laughing. The worst that can happen is they didn't do that well in school because they were laughing and eating pizza all day and whatever, and not interested in many things. But we never heard of anybody dying. But then again, back then it was more the sativa, different plants. People don't understand that plants have been manipulated. That we are genetically altering things to make them stronger, bigger, better. This is how can I get the biggest high? How can I get? That comes with consequences. And again, like I said, I want to make sure that people understand. I am no one to tell an adult what they do or don't do. That's your life.
Yeah.
You're free to do it. I am completely against introducing children or minors into things because you have a developing brain. Because we are opening you up to have a dependency on some addiction. And I think that youth is already going through a lot. The phone has changed our planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so much anxiety and things that are going on. If adults are going through anxiety, if adults are seeking help, can you imagine children that are being bombarded with information 24/7? So as it is, the phone is an addiction.
Yeah.
I want to be clear. People think that addiction is only medicine or things. You could be an addict. I can tell you my story when
The sad thing about the phone is that, like, yes, it can be an addiction, right? It can be 100% be an addiction,
Of course.
as we see with like Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, where like their whole life is on the screen like this.
And the whole life,
That's the whole
your
life,
whole
you know?
life is in how many likes you have.
No,
if you don't have enough likes,
no,
you're not happening.
Of course. But here's the thing, though. Like, as we move on as a society, right?
Yeah.
Everything we do is on this.
Yes.
The phone call, the
Yes,
email.
yes.
Even if it's just for productive things.
Correct.
Just for
Correct.
productivity. Just like answering your
Correct.
email, like any other.
You get up and the first thing you do is you look at your phone.
Exactly. So it's kind of like it's kind of and even your computer, the blue screen, that blue screen, the blue screen that has some psychological effects to your brain and whatnot.
Well, because blue light is always waking up your brain.
Exactly,
That's why they tell
exactly.
you need to be off equipment for like at least 2 hours before you go to bed, because we are organic creatures. We are still attached to our biology and to this earth. We go to sleep with the darkness because we have an internal clock. And that's how we function. We are biological. That's just what it is. We haven't advanced enough where our brain is 100% power and we're like, something else. So we forget the necessities that we have as humans. We need to go out there and
No, of
smell
course.
plants.
No,
We
of
need
course,
to
of
touch
course.
things.
But there's one thing that, like, yes, we can say
But
we
this
need
is
more. We
advancing-
need more things, but like.
I know, but this is advancing faster than what our brain is able to grasp when you're
Of course,
a child.
of course.
Right now, the other day, just by coincidence, I was speaking to a pediatrician who now they're saying, please do not give anything to your child to entertain them when they're in certain ages, because we want them to be manual, to be visual,
Yeah.
to do things, because if you entertain them only with whatever comes here, the child loses the ability. And there's something very interesting if you want to look it up, where they were doing a study of kids, babies. I'm going to call them babies. They're not kids, because if you're 1 or 2 year old, you're a baby.
You're a toddler, basically.
There's a toddler that is sleeping and he's going like this. So in his dream,
He's typing in a computer.
he's playing with his iPad or
Wow.
something. This is how his brain is not able to stop.
Can you
that
imagine
connection.
like some like 5-year-old like playing Fortnite
Like,
in his sleep like
in
that?
his sleep. That's what
Yeah.
is happening. So when we're talking about addiction, we have to encompass many things. I am an adult, and I remember when I was going through my depression after the loss of my daughter, I didn't want to leave my house. I don't know how many series. I went from one series to another series.
The different
to another
stages of grief, right? The different stages of mourning, right?
There are stages of mourning, but to tell you when it comes to certain type of grief, at the beginning it may happen in a sequence, but your second year sometimes is as worse or as bad as your first year. So sometimes you don't know where you're going backwards, you're going forward. It all depends.
It's a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster. It is. But I was watching series in TV. I did not want it to think. I did not want it to be present. I wanted to have something transport me to another time, place. I
Yeah.
didn't want to think about my life. I didn't want to think about anything. So I became an addict of watching something in TV because I wanted to escape my reality. And either I did it by taking medicine, like some people wanted me to, or I did it that way, or, you know, we all want to look for an escape, not
Yeah.
to feel pain. That's just what it is. My problem is that I don't believe that in schools we're teaching young enough our children how to protect themselves mentally and physically, and also to teach them tools for mental health. In other words, not just drugs and things, mental wellness.
It all comes down to the quote I told you before, Andrew Carnegie.
Yes.
Right? No, it was Rockefeller, my bad. Rockefeller said, I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers. That's a
Right.
real quote. You
Yeah.
can Google it. That's a real quote
Yeah,
he
yeah,
said,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That is like legit,
Yeah.
like big bad, like CEO villain from a cartoon show
Yeah.
type of quote, you know what I mean? And like, and when you think about it, like everything, like think about it in schools. They raise your hand and go to the bathroom, sit straight, don't talk to
Yep.
anybody, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's all like factory type
Well,
behavior.
in regular schools. Now, if you go to a technical school,
no, of course,
remember,
regular schools,
if you-
regular schools,
if you,
yes.
If you go to a university or you go to a technical school,
Yeah.
they never sit us in a chair.
Yeah.
We're always sitting in a circle. We're always sitting. I went to George T. Baker, and it's the first time I says, "Oh, where's my pupitre?" We used to have a pupitre. Where's my pupitre, teacher? Where's my? No, we don't have seats. We sit around a circle because you are now part of this team
Yeah.
and you're part of this team. And
Yeah.
as a team, we need to take care of this plane, and this is how we're going to do it. And we work collectively.
Yeah, I swear, back in my high school days, I hate the assigned seating. I hated it. I would just
I know.
sit there and I gotta go to the bathroom.
I know.
And they'll tell you no, and they're gonna say no, because I know you're gonna leave my class, which was kind of true. But like,
Yeah,
but like,
I had to always sit in the
No,
front
yeah.
because then if I'm in the back, I'm staring at other people's hairdos and things. I was easily distracted. So I always had to sit in the front to make sure that I saw the teacher.
Well,
and
me, I would purposely sit in the back just be like,
you
just
wouldn't
because.
be kicked at.
No, well, no, that and also as she's talking, I can just take a little dirt and then
the
wake up.
sleeping.
Exactly.
Okay,
No, because I sometimes I go to school and I miss my towel. I just go there and like on fumes. I'm on fumes.
Wow.
And I just sit there and I look at my classmate. I'm like, hey, let me know when she gets to the good part. And I
No.
doze up. And then
We didn't have a luxury. The nuns used to walk through the rows, and you will get a little hit
yeah.
on the
No, but now in college, I love it now. I can get up and go to the bathroom. Like I kind of
college
like
is something
I
else.
was
You're an
I
adult.
was so used to like raising my hand, and my professor was like, "Dude, just go to the bathroom. Why are you
I know.
raising your hand for?" And I was like,
Well, when you're in college, you're considered a young adult. You're,
Yeah, no,
you're
yeah,
a young adult.
like the BS is not there anymore. It's like you need to call me Miss, like,
Yeah.
and like in my when I go to school at NMDC in the North Campus, right? People call professors by their first name, like, hey, Dan. Dan's like, what up, dude? Like in the corner there.
Yeah,
you know?
professors have relaxed a lot more. They want to have a different relationship with their students.
No, yeah,
but I'm still old school. I'm still old school.
No, yeah. No, and also like everyone's an adult as well. You can't just talk to them like they're a
But you know,
dumb
funny
5-year-old.
is, this is what our expectations are when we get to college and university, yet we're not preparing our students
Yeah.
in elementary, middle, and high school
Yeah.
for this experience. Because if this is what you're gonna, be, then why don't we start preparing them since there? But the world has definitely changed.
No, of course.
I mean, sometimes, and like I said, it doesn't affect everybody in the same way.
Yes.
Some people are more sensitive. There was something that I heard that people, this generation, they break with anything. And I was hearing about all that, and I was trying to You've heard that.
I have an opinion about that.
Me too.
I have an opinion. Here's my opinion about that.
Go.
As a Gen Zer, right?
Yes.
Okay, I have
Yes.
a perspective that maybe you might not have, right?
Yes.
Because I'm in this generation.
Yes.
We're at a point in history. This is a big deal.
Yes.
My generation is the generation growing up with technology.
Yes.
Because now we're entering the new era, the new stage, the new turn of the century with technology, right?
Yes.
Especially with like Gen Alpha and Gen Beta.
No,
they're running
my
out of names.
generation made it. My generation made it. Your generation now is using it 100%.
They're running out of names of generations. Like,
Yes.
like they might as well call them the empty brain or something like that. Because like, but you know what I mean? Because like half of like, if you don't mind,
Yes.
half of these Gen Beta kids, Gen Alpha kids are like this. Half of them. At least when I was growing up, right? In the 2000s. You had TV, but you had cable, and Netflix was not a big thing yet.
No, it was not.
You know what I mean? Netflix was not a big thing. You had cable, but also there was the tradition of going hang out with your friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, play outside.
There was still that culture surrounding that, right? But now that culture is basically like gone away. Because even my cousins that are millennials, even they, we have video games too, but it wasn't that how today. We still hang out to the park, we hanged out there,
Of
we
course.
met up here. That social cultural behavior was still
Correct.
a thing, right? And the thing about Gen Z now, here's the thing, is that like things have become more expensive, right?
Very.
Very.
I don't know where they're gonna live. Yeah.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
We, statistically, might not ever be able to buy a home
Agree.
until we're 50. That's even being lucky. No, that's just even being lucky,
Yes.
let alone retirement, right? You got some people like Ben Shapiro said, you shouldn't retire when you're 50. You should keep working until X, Y, and Z.
Well, now they want us to retire at 67. Why?
No, why?
My generation, why do I have to retire at 67?
Exactly.
Why?
It's like,
What happened?
and then here's the thing, because like the boomers, right? The boomer generation, right? Here's the thing. The reason why they treat us so poorly, right? And they're so like hard on us, and they're so like flojo, so like, I'm trying to remember the word, but the point is, they don't want to pass the reins of power and economy. You know what I mean? They want to hoard all the wealth to a certain degree.
I think that's the generation before me, because my generation, I would say they do, because
boomers
that's
are
when we were more into computers.
Boomers are more like most boomers
I
are
just
like 80
think my
years old.
generation is worried.
Yeah.
My generation's worried for two things, and I can understand the sensitivities because I am one of those kids who used to do carteles in the university and protest
But you're
and all
more
that
like
stuff.
Gen X though. You're more Gen X.
I don't know what I am. I still think at my age that I would love to.
No,
I love hanging around with young people. I
lot-
like that experience. I like
I'm
that.
pretty sure boomers are like to their 80s, really, 80s and 90s.
Okay.
Around that time, right? Like my grandfather's 81. He was born in 1950. Like slightly after the world, like during the World War, after the World War. So they're all like around 80s and 90 years old. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the thing is that like nowadays, you go buy a normal house. The average house, for example, here in Miami, is like $250,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll find an efficiency, a box in the middle of Hialeah for $1 million. And the sad thing, someone's gonna buy that.
And especially somebody from outside of the state.
Exactly.
So you would have to move to other areas of the state.
And then you have like people saying like Ben Shapiro, who's lost everyone's respect, even from both sides, has said, just because you were born and bred in a certain area where you live, it doesn't mean you deserve to live there.
Yes.
Which is like, I'm sorry, but if you're born and bred in Hialeah, you deserve to die there in Hialeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's only right. It's only right. It's where your place is, right? And as well as like, if you compare the average medium home, right, and like for boomers, right, growing up, right, was like $12,000, right? They bought a house for like $12,000, $10,000, right? Plus like veteran discounts they gave out.
But they were able to save. It's very difficult to save nowadays.
No, of course. Think like things in terms of like economics were more simple. It was cheaper and simple. You know
People
what I mean?
had an ability to save.
Yes.
It's very difficult to save nowadays. I think my parents bought their home for $42,000, but they had an ability to save and pay that home off in 5 years. It's difficult right now because of the astronomical price and that our salaries don't match.
They haven't changed.
They have changed, but they haven't changed that much. But you're touching in all of the things that are stressing people, and when we're talking about, to reel it back to the addiction.
Of course.
These are all things that affect human beings, and these are the reasons why people tend to self-medicate.
Yes.
You're thinking about problems and issues. If you are your age, these are the issues and problems that you're keeping, and you know what? Some kids feel, well, I don't know what's going to happen to me, even though I'm educated, I'm studying.
A lot of people are just giving up. They're just giving up in general.
I know, but you can, and that is the only thing where I think that my generation, being the daughter of an immigrant, which at the beginning was very tough, is something that has helped me throughout life because we were not allowed.
Of course.
This is like NASA. We were not allowed.
But that goes into more cultural things. That goes into more cultural things.
I think it's every culture that was an immigrant because
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Every child who came here as an immigrant from a parent who was an immigrant, we knew that we knew we were going to travel in two worlds. Our parents were not going to understand the world that we were in. But we needed to make sure that we don't fail.
Yes.
Because if we fail, everything these people did just went to crap because the only reason why they did everything they did was to save their children, to bring their children to a different place. So again, that's a generation, and I think to this day, that's what we do. We put our chin up, and even if you have adversity, we need to go forward. That is why I do understand the sensitivities of a generation and why they are being targeted. Because to me, I'm sorry to say it, they're being targeted. I don't think every kid out there of that generation is really a kid who
by being targeted, what do you mean being targeted? What do you mean
because you're being targeted because you're not even dealing with the same drugs that I had to deal with. And that you know what I'm saying? We don't have regular cocaine. We don't have regular stuff. So you're being targeted because if I'm going to put you a Gandhi or something like that. Did they even have to fight against the British? No, they did a war without one weapon. And I always said we keep on losing. This is critical thinking 101.
Yes.
If I truly wanted to destroy a nation, like if I was that evil and I wanted to destroy a nation, how would I go about it? But I don't have weapons. As far as like guns and,
you just
it's
fire
going
up
to
the
be too
people.
visible.
You just fire up the people, basically.
Listen, I get rid of the generation. I get rid of the youth, and you don't have a youth. Your youth is nothing. I'm going to conquer you just based on that. So when I say every day of my life, which I believe to the core, that your generation and the generation after you, like that, my daughter.
It's at the same world.
It was a target. It was a target.
It's at the same world anymore.
Because no child should die for making the mistake of buying a pill for a headache or for Xanax or for an Adderall because they have things. You should not die.
Yeah.
I know people are going to disagree with me and say, well, that kid should not have touched that. I want to know how many things you did when you were growing up that were stupid and that you're still here to tell the story. Okay? Because I'm not saying that kid went out there with a weapon and they were, buying drugs. No, I'm just saying, and every child, most people that I knew smoked pot. Most people that I still know today, if you go back when they were young, some of them tried cocaine. And they're here, and they're engineers, they're attorneys, they're lawyers. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree. Please don't misunderstand me.
But you're saying that the drugs nowadays, like back then you can try something and it wouldn't be so life-altering, But nowadays, you try something now, it's extremely life-altering.
It is. Compared
to back then.
Because you're trying a synthetic. And I'm going to put you a very, very, very simple and stupid example. It's not stupid, but, very simple.
Are we going to do a little rip right now or something?
No. I'm just, this is one of the things, look, when I said I think because when I went to George T. Baker and when I went to certain classes, those teachers actually changed my life. They changed my life because I'm a visual and hands-on learner. They changed my life because sometimes, in order for you to, we're not chemists and we're not MDs, right?
Yes.
Even if we study psychology and we have all this background, it is chemistry.
Yes.
And we're not all chemists, right? So in order for me or for most people to understand something, you need to understand what is it that we're talking about, but we're not chemists. If I was to tell you, what is 2 milligrams? Can you visualize them?
2 milligrams.
Yeah, what is 2 milligrams? You couldn't visualize them because we're not chemists. If I walk into right now to the DA and I say, 2 milligrams, everybody knows. Everybody in their brain, they know. We don't. So when I go to school and parents tell me, but I don't know, because you know,
I'm getting
how do you know?
flashbacks to high school right now.
Yes, of
I'm
course.
getting flashbacks.
So if I tell people, okay, this is morphine, right? This is morphine. You get this in hospitals for end of life, cancer, for pain, when you have an operation. People get morphine. It's one of the medicines that we use in hospitals. People get heroin, morphine, any medicine. People get fentanyl in hospitals, right? Depending on your disease or what you're going through, they get it. I don't believe that fentanyl should be on our streets for no reason whatsoever.
Yes.
None. None. Because there's a big difference between something that is plant-based and something that is a synthetic.
Yes.
A synthetic was made in a lab. It is a chemical reaction. They add on, like the lady said, we put this little thing here and we add this and we add that and then we come up with this. You know, my brain can only absorb so much, but I can see where she's coming from. So you tell me, if I give you 100 doses of morphine, would you think that you would be an addict?
At some point, yeah, at some point.
100 doses of morphine,
Yes.
would you think that you'll be an addict?
Yes.
Okay. So what if I tell you that instead of giving you 100 doses, all I need to do is give you 1 of fentanyl? Would you think that you would be an addict?
No.
Why?
Because it would be just 1 dose.
Oh, but that's the part of critical thinking. See? And that is the same thing that most 12th graders say.
No, not even 12th graders. Just like most people think,
Most people.
like if I take
And
1 of that instead of 100 of these, it's not going to be that bad.
So that is, thank you for saying that. You answered like most people do. And I will tell you, but you just took 100 doses of morphine.
So
You just took 100 doses of morphine.
Just so everyone can understand,
Yes.
right? So point on the camera. So
Yeah.
1 dose. So 1 little dose of fentanyl is the equivalent of 100 doses of morphine.
Yes. Because if that's the best way for me to visualize it or to tell somebody. Because if fentanyl is equal to 100, if fentanyl is 100 times stronger, how do you visualize something being 100 times stronger?
I'm trying to wrap my pardon me,
Yes.
I'm trying to
It's okay. It's
Damn,
okay. That's
damn,
what we're
that's a
here
lot.
for.
That's a lot.
That is. So if something is 100 times
Why
stronger,
didn't I learn this?
because you need it. Because critical thinking is not taught in our
I'm gonna say it right now. I
Right.
learned more about life and chemistry watching Breaking Bad than in my own chemistry class
Thank
at this
you.
point. At this
Thank
point.
you. It is true. So
my
I'm not
God.
saying necessarily it's 100 doses, but I'm trying to do an equivalent. If this is 100 times stronger, which will mean that I don't have to give you 100 doses of something in order to give you 1, so I can cover your pain because you have cancer, you're going through chemo, or not chemo.
But sometimes
sorry.
the drugs they give you is not really to cover stuff. It's just to make money and give you something as
Well,
well.
I don't know. I think hospitals.
That's what a lot of people think as well. A lot of people don't go to the doctor because of those reasons.
Well, number one, no doctor's going to prescribe you fentanyl. If you have a doctor who's prescribing you
course.
fentanyl, you run out of that
I
office.
don't mean fentanyl. I just mean generally speaking. A lot of people think that like the doctors are just gonna put me on pills and then I'll be
There's some doctors, I'm not going to speak for everybody, there's some doctors that maybe are too happy to make a prescription to keep the client or the
prescription
patient.
happy. Prescription happy.
Could be because the patient wants to not feel pain. Again, we're going to go back to human biology. Most human beings don't want to be in pain. Your brain doesn't like pain. Your brain likes happy. Your brain doesn't like pain. Your body doesn't like pain.
I know that much.
That's why women are more, believe it or not, because of our biology, women can tolerate pain a little bit more than men in certain aspects, believe it or not.
In
Maybe
certain
not.
aspects.
Well, we give birth. We do many things.
No, that's what I mean, in certain
and then we
aspects.
have amnesia and we forgot how much pain we went through and we have another kid. But if and men could be more stronger or take pain more like when it's muscle or different things, but it's biology. But going back to the drugs, synthetics. And I also thought okay, most people who were selling drugs back then were selling drugs, wanted people to have a high and be my customer and come back.
Yeah.
Continue to come back. So again, we need to question ourselves, why are so many people dying? So many people are dying because these criminals, freaking idiots, pieces of crap that don't know anything, are playing with substances that are very dangerous and lethal. When a hospital tells you that, number one, most hospitals use fentanyl as a liquid, it's a control, it's done. Do you understand what a control environment is?
Yes.
It's done in a lab by doctors.
Yes. All the variables under
Right,
control.
it's almost like when you say, okay, 100 milligrams of aspirin, you know it's 100 milligrams of aspirin. There's nothing else there, not adulteration, exactly the same weight. So everything is in a controlled environment. These people are producing drugs in the streets, in
their backyard.
in un pueblo,
Yeah.
in a field somewhere.
Or in a van.
If they run out of an ingredient, they'll find something else that maybe can coexist. So sometimes you don't even know where you're getting how many mixes. But fentanyl on its own is a very dangerous substance. That's why it's only used in hospitals in a very controlled environment and by people who know what they're doing. They even use it for anesthesia as part of sometimes anesthesia. Okay? So this stuff should never be on our street because 2 milligrams can kill you. So what is 2 milligrams? 2 milligrams is 2 grains of brown sugar. I think I used all my brown sugar when I was in my last school. I have a little bit here.
Brown sugar.
Okay, if you think of brown sugar, 2, 3, if you can imagine, because I cannot go to a school with powder, okay? This is frowned upon. So can you imagine taking the tip of a pin, right? And I put it in powder. Okay, in baby powder. So when I picked up this pen, whatever is left here on the pen, that is 2 milligrams of fentanyl, whatever will be left there. So let's see if I get some brown sugar and can show you brown sugar is not as dark as I would like it. But if you see this, okay, this, I think I'm over. This is an overdose of fentanyl.
That right there.
Yeah, that right there is an overdose of fentanyl.
That right there.
That right there is 2 milligrams of fentanyl.
That less than a pinch salt.
This is the tip of a pin that you get with powder. That is an overdose of fentanyl.
So that okay. So that little just so
yeah,
everyone can
3-4 grains of brown sugar, the square one.
3-4 grains of that.
Of the brown sugar, because it's 2 milligrams.
That's not
we
enough
have to weigh
salt
it.
to put on my own fries.
Okay,
you mean to tell
it
me
is.
that's gonna fentanyl? That's gonna prevent?
Yes, I wish I would have powder right now. Let me see if I can open up a Splenda. Okay,
No,
we
we
don't.
don't have powder. That'll be a little interesting. We have powder.
No. I'm not gonna bring that kind of. Yeah. Hey, you know what we say? A gram of cocaine is a party, right? A gram of fentanyl has the capability of killing 500 people.
I never done cocaine in my life. I'm just saying.
Me neither. But I'm just telling you, okay, so this that you see there, that's an overdose of fentanyl. That right there. So that's why it's so lethal. So then the question is, imagine how easily...
You can barely see that. You can barely see that, though.
Of course not. I have it in my website. If you guys ever want to go in and see, I have the slides from the DA that has pictures of a pen, of a pen with a little tip. So you guys can see there's a lot of information.
And what's your website called?
It's imanslifefoundation.org. You can find some information on that. And you can see a lot of pics. So we represent the One Pill Can Kill campaign with the DEA.
Yeah.
The One Pill Can Kill campaign is directly done because, as you know, now we have fake pills. As if we didn't have enough with all the stuff that's on the streets. Now these beautiful people, these monsters that are out there, in order to bring these drugs into our nation, they are imitating pills.
So knockoff
Xanax.
pills.
Yes. So they're called fake pills. And those pills always contain fentanyl and other illicit substances. That's how they bring it in. Or to sell it and give it to people, right? So
yeah, I mean, like in Chicago, the cartels, like how they distribute their drugs, they just give it to gangs, and then those gangs sell those drugs outward.
of course.
Yeah.
But the people who are selling don't even know exactly what they're selling.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
No,
you
yeah.
didn't manufacture. You didn't know what's going on.
No, yeah.
So that's what I'm telling people. Listen, anyway, I don't even want to get into that subject because that subject is a whole totally show on something else. But the problem is that you cannot buy anything in the internet right now. And what I want is a public announcement using your show and knowing that there's a lot of young people that watch you. Even if it's pharmaceuticals that are in the internet, do not purchase. Many times, a container comes into the nation. You know how many containers this country gets? So what I was understanding when I was in the class for the DA is that imagine there's containers that's going to pull through. Nobody saw it. Okay, everybody thought that it was this. Or they checked one part and that was good. It was the medicine. But these people are introducing stuff into that in
Yes.
order to bring it into the country, right? So if you're the unlucky person to order, let's say, Percocet, Oxycontin, Xanax, anything for pain, anything for different things, and you're ordering from a pharmaceutical in the internet, you may not get the medicine that you thought you were getting. You may get a fake pill. There's an organization very beautiful that is called Charlie's Song, and the guy was an athlete. Actually, he was already in college, never did drugs and anything, but he had an injury in his back when he was playing football. And he was just buying Percocet.
He just took a Percocet, but in reality,
He
was
bought
something
it from
else.
the internet. You can look it up. It's called A Song for Charlie. It's a huge foundation a little bit north from us. And that child died in his bed. That young man died in his bed. The pill was a fake pill. My understanding from what happened to my daughter was the same thing.
That's a terrible way to go out.
It was a Percocet.
Yeah.
She took a Percocet. That Percocet had fentanyl and other things, and that's just how it is. So what I'm telling people is do not touch anything that is on the streets. Don't get anything from anybody. Don't buy anything from the internet. Unless you're getting it from your doctor, a prescription, a pharmacist. Don't trust. And sometimes the dealer themselves, which is as another kid or another young person, may have sold things before that didn't have any issue, but he's not making it or she's not making it.
He's just a middleman.
He's just a middleman. But there's something else that's also happening with the drug industry, and they're trying to get the young people. You know how we have courting and human trafficking?
Yes.
So some of these dealers are sending little girls or people or young men to court other kids. That's how they did in the pandemic. They went to neighborhoods, they went to places, the kids
There's
sometimes...
also mules as well, mules.
Of course.
Mules.
Of course.
For those who don't know what a mule is when they get someone and they stick drugs literally into
inside
them.
of you.
They're still alive and they just make you deliver it.
Yeah.
Basically.
If they explode inside of you, you know what's going to happen. You're not even going to make it off.
No, you won't make it over there,
So these dealers are sending people out there that are older to befriend kids that they see in the park. They become your friends for like a long time. They court you. Nothing wrong. They don't sell you anything. They don't give you anything. They're just your friend. Then one day they come and they're smoking or doing something. Oh, nothing. Oh, he's cool. All the kids are not going to rot on other kids, especially younger kids. Don't rat on older kids. They just don't.
The same.
This is the culture of you cannot rat on anybody.
Snitches get stitches.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
So they're just cool, and this was a friend, and it's not telling. And then there comes a mom and say, "Hey, oh, did you want to try some?" But that happens after they already courted you and befriend you. During the pandemic, many of us learned after the fact. Like I say, sometimes tragedy brings a lot of information your way that not always we want to receive it, but it's the truth. And we must accept the truth. That there were dealers and people that used to come to the neighborhoods in Miramar, Pembroke Pines, some places, because since the kids were in the pandemic, all day in the computer, what did we tell our kids? Put on your mask, go out there, play a little bit in the park, because we all have parks. We all have neighborhood parks. Like let's say in my immediate community, there's a park half a block from my house, inside my own community. My child never leaves my neighborhood. So how safe could they be? Who is in there? All the kids from the neighborhood. There's another park outside the neighborhood that is for the bigger community. So you're trusting that all the kids there are kids from our schools, from places. What's going to happen? All these kids are stuck in there. So these monsters used to drive around areas, see where there were kids, get off, befriend them, say, oh, from another school, oh, there's a party, oh, there's this, oh, this is okay, cool. And that's how little by little they start introducing stuff to kids.
Of course.
That you say, where would this child come across with this? That's what it is. They go out and get the kids. And then, of course, through here. There's codes for the parents who are listening. There's codes that they can send you, disappear in 30 seconds, and that person just told your child where they can pick up something. I'm going to show you what was confiscated from a 5th grader and a 6th grader. So this is marijuana. This is what is called gold amber. It's a synthetic. This is marijuana. Yeah.
May I?
Yeah, you can. That's a vape. That was confiscated from a 6th grader. Okay.
Wow.
This one from a 5th grader. This is a regular vape, right? But what most parents don't know is that nicotine is only second to cocaine in addiction. Nicotine is highly addictive.
So the most addictive is cocaine.
Almost as addictive as cocaine.
Almost.
It's only second to cocaine in addiction. So imagine that you are this young and you're already being predisposed to an addiction. This is pot.
This is
But
pot.
this is cannabis. Yes, it's pot. It's just that is.
So I'm holding pot in my hands right now.
Yes, you are. It's not on. I haven't turned on the vape. And,
No,
you know.
of course.
But that's what, and this is from a 6th grader. Now, how do we know that this amber synthetic would not have given a problem to that child? How do we know what the effect on that kid is going to be given?
Did you know, did he have this for like a very long time, or was it just recently bought? Or it wasn't that specific?
They didn't give, the principals don't give me too many specifics. It's to protect the child. I get them because, I always say I'm a foundation. We don't have a lot of funds. Give me whatever you confiscate because I use it in my classes. And actually this one, there was a funny story when I went to a school in a 3rd grader, when we were talking about the body and respecting that that all the kids, some kids are allergic to milk, some kids are allergic. So that's how I start teaching the kids to respect themselves and their body. And just because, listen, your friend drinks milk, nothing happens to them. And now you are allergic to milk, right?
Yeah.
So the kids are understanding that we're not all made equally. So one little girl was telling me that a friend of hers that was only 4 years old ended up in the hospital and almost died because she thought this was a sippy cup. A little baby. What did she think? This looks like a sippy cup because it has the mouth of almost like a sippy cup. So she saw it there and she took a hit of the nicotine and she had a toxic reaction to that nicotine. The little baby ended up in the hospital. You read in the news the kids who died from fentanyl that were babies because somebody decided to put fentanyl under their bed and it went through their skin, exposure, because they're infants.
Really?
That was all over the place. That happened in New Jersey, in a daycare.
So you tell me if I just put a bunch of fentanyl under a carpet.
Well, a lo mejor that doesn't go through the carpet, but if it goes through something and it goes into your skin and it stays there for a long time, of course you can have. There are patches of fentanyl as medicines. We have patches.
No, of course, there's patches,
So if there's patches of fentanyl, means that your skin it's not as easy because it takes a while for things to be absorbed through the skin. That's what they do. It's a slow absorption, but it's just for you to be aware. If we put cocaine in your arm and you leave it there 3 days, what do you think is going to happen? Are you going to die? No. And that is one of the reasons where, again, thank you for inviting me, and I want to use your show as to say we need to change the laws against fentanyl. Fentanyl should not be neither fentanyl nor carfentanil nor xylazine. None of those things should be in the same category as cocaine or any plant-based drug because they are not. They are not. Like you said, a gram of cocaine is going to be a party.
Yes.
Okay? A gram of fentanyl has the potential.
It's a funeral.
To kill 400 to 500 people. Remember, between 2 milligrams and 3 milligrams is an overdose. So in a gram, you have 1,000 milligrams, right? It's just math. So imagine what you do with 1,000 milligrams. If 2 milligrams is an overdose, then you have the potential of killing. So we need to change the laws.
That's a wild. When you really think about it, it's wild though. Like
it is wild.
1 to 2 grams.
2 to 3 grams.
2 to 3 grams.
Can kill a person.
Can kill a person.
Yes.
Wow.
And this is why it cannot be in the same category. None of the synthetics that have that potential should be considered, like the other drugs that they're trying to prevent. No, these are not. They should be considered lethal substances, and they should be treated as such. Because if right now I put in your tea, rat poisoning or anthrax, I was attempting to commit murder. And that is exactly what I want the law to be.
Of course.
If you are dealing or selling with fentanyl, you were attempting to commit murder.
And what about your presentation?
I have many okay, so I go to school, so you guys understand.
Yes.
I go to schools. We start as early as 4th grade. Why? Because of the vapes.
Yes.
Because to me, the moment that you start introducing anything that a child could become an addict, we're already opening up a field for a child to be dependent on something, right? Your brain is like your body, right? After you eat fried food for a year, isn't your palate more up to fried food, right? We like the taste of it. We like the fatty in our mouth, right? How beautiful. So you're not going to go back now just to have little things that are boiled. They're not going to taste good to you. So you need to imagine that when you are taking nicotine and you are a child, You're taking such high nicotine. How is that affecting the receptors of your brain?
Yes.
Because remember, addiction grows and it's a cycle, and you become an addict because now you're losing receptors. When you have a least, now you need more, and you need more, and you need more. And that's why you have the addiction cycle, right? Because now your tolerance has become this high. That's why it can also kill you with the fentanyl. You never had a tolerance to it, so boom, it's gonna kill you the first time anybody makes a mistake, right?
Yes.
And for the other ones, they die because now their tolerance has become so higher. Now they're dealing with, substances that you have to add more and more and more in order to feel and get that high. People, you're never gonna have the same high you had the first time. It is difficult, and that's why they get you. They get you. But we go to schools, and we have presentations on street cannabis. I'm not here against the, what is it called, the dispensaries. I'm not here against anything that an adult, a consenting adult, wants to do. That is their choice.
If you're 25, like if you're at least a consenting adult, whether
21, to me 21, because 21 is for smoking and drinking.
Yes.
21.
If you're 21 and you want to try something, then try it. No one's gonna stop you from, well, unless it's illegal, unless it's
well, but that's what I'm saying.
That's illegal. But as long as it's legal, or
Well, dispensaries are selling. I mean, they're selling all the stuff, right, with pot and whatever.
Yeah.
So if you can go
it's at your own risk. It's at your own risk.
It's at your own risk.
Yes.
It's at your own dependency. It's like you're an adult. But what we need to know as parents, as a society, whatever, it is not right.
Yes.
To sell a candy that is laced. It is not right to anything that is laced. Is a crime. Anything that is laced,
but
even if you're an adult.
But will people know you're laced though? But how can people know if it's laced though?
You don't, because you cannot taste fentanyl, you cannot smell it, and you cannot see it. So you tell me, how do you know if it's there? And if it's in a pill form, you need to destroy that pill, put it in water, put a tester, and then of course your pill is gone. What are you gonna do? You're gonna drink the whole stuff and kill yourself? So you have to think of all these things. And that's the reason why I feel education is our power. Why would you want to risk your life over a could be? Why? Why? Your life is precious. You have so much to give. I mean, you're irreplaceable. Every human being is unique. Every child is unique. Nobody else is like you. And that's one of the things that I love the most to talk about when I'm with fourth grader. You're not like the kid sitting next to you. You're not like the kid. You are unique. You're so unique. There's no other 23 and 23 chromosomes exactly like yours unless you have a twin. You know what I mean? So enjoy that uniqueness and know that what affects somebody else may not affect you, and vice versa. And respect that. Respect your body, respect your brain. Why run the risk to be cool, to lose your life, to be brain dead, to now have an addiction for the rest of your life? And parents, I'm not here to judge anybody. I think sometimes also parents didn't know that vaping carried the risk that it does. Popcorn lung only comes from vaping.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, and again, it's an inflammation of your lungs. It's popcorn lung. People can die from that. And the other chemicals that they put in vaping are chemicals that can give you cancer, diacetyl, formaldehyde. That stuff is found in vapes. Formaldehyde is what we use for the corpus, right? So people need to know the ingredients in a vape.
It's crazy how people are very ignorant. It's not their fault. It's not their fault.
No, it's not. It's co-education. That's what I'm saying. And I could lace this.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to open it to lace it. Do you think that if right now I would have touched it, that would have been real fentanyl, and I touched this mouthpiece, just touch it in fentanyl or something else, and I give it to you, you cannot see it, you cannot taste it, right? You don't even smell it, and then you put it in your mouth. Did I not just give you a dose?
Technically you did, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Why run the risk? Why run the risk? To me, it's not worth it. And vaping, to me, is just that we're creating kids who are just going to be open to addiction.
Yes.
We eliminated cigarettes years ago, right? Saying
Yes.
cancer and the throat cancer. And now we're back into something else. And this is just an electronic dispenser of nicotine. There's nothing else. Oh, and something that they always ask me in the schools. I was going to take my jacket, but let me put the thing here. Because the conversation is getting
You can also
so
just
good.
hold it up to your...
It's okay. So sometimes I'm being asked in school, even by students of university.
I believe it's upside down. It's upside down.
Oh, it's upside down?
Yes, of course.
I'm sorry. Here we go.
There we go.
that what about the vapes that don't have nicotine? And I'm still thinking, number one, they make it in a place where there's nicotine. So there's always a trace. In everything that has been tested, there's always a trace of nicotine. But it's okay, very minor. Okay, you're an adult. But what do you think those chemicals that they put in there are? When you burn them, what do they do? What are those chemicals doing to your lungs? Should they be in your lungs? So all I'm saying is, look up the chemicals inside a vape. Look what they do to your lungs. Look what they do to your insides. The lungs were not made for certain substances. They were not. They were made for oxygen. And again, sometimes people say, oh, about pot. Oh, it's natural. Yeah, so are poisonous things and plants that come from the earth. Just because it comes from the earth doesn't mean that we should eat it, ingest it, or smell it, right? So always think about that. It's more like, how much information do I know about the subject? So nowadays, what I'm asking people, we need to go back to like, just be critical thinkers. Don't even worry about anything else. Just do as much research as you can, but not from one source. Because as you just pointed out before, there's algorithms to this stuff.
Yes. And
we did a test with some friends that for like about 3 months, she looked up everything that said that the earth was flat. We did this. We laughed about it for hours. And the rest of us were doing the one, no, the earth is round.
Yeah.
Did you know that every other information that she was getting after 3 months was of any hypothesis or something that
of course,
the earth could be flat?
Yes, of
it
course,
keeps on sending you things that could reconfirm what you were doing because you don't want you to get out of that other thought.
Yeah.
Research 7 or 8 different places. Research as much as you can. Go to the CDC, go to the DA, go to other sources, find out what other hospitals, speak to your doctor. Don't just, dealers are not MDs. Dealers are not chemists. They're not. They're getting stuff from other people. Again, respect your body. We don't know our predispositions. Have you heard of people like maybe parents were alcoholics?
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you're going to be an alcoholic. It means that you're more predisposed to like it because there's
genetically, yes.
Genetically. Look at the indigenous people.
Oh yeah, of course.
Indigenous people had no tolerance for alcohol.
No, I mean, like if you look at like, I believe it was, I think I'm butchering this tribe back then. It was during like the expansion of America on the western frontier. How like when the natives would, I believe it was the Comanche, when they would trade, they would buy coffee, tobacco, horses, but not whiskey. They would like stay away from the whiskey.
Of course.
Stay away from the whiskey.
Because they had no predisposition.
Yeah.
Just like the chicken pox. When a lot of Europeans came, they had no immune system for it.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to think is I want to make a conscience for the kids to understand how beautiful their mind and their body is and how we're just all made a little bit different.
Yeah.
And when somebody, like I said, a dose, maybe 200 milligrams of something is okay for you, but not for me. And vice versa. So I'm trying to make sure that we all understand that we need to be cautious when we try something. And that I know that you're kids and we all want to experiment. We all experimented in something, right? We all wanted to try something. But unfortunately today, they're not giving you a chance to be a kid and you can experiment.
They just want addicts.
They just want addicts or they're going to kill you because you can't experiment when you're dealing with a synthetic. You just cannot experiment.
Or they'll probably just like make you an addict and then you'll just die.
You're going to die eventually because you're dealing with substances that are so highly addictive that you're going to need a higher dose and a higher dose and a higher dose just to feel the same way you felt on the first and the two. You understand?
Yeah.
Because you just killed all the receptors. It's what people don't understand.
And also as well as like even people who are addicted to like cocaine or drugs like that.
It's the same thing.
They always relapse. Like breaking free from those like
it's
addictions
hard.
is
hard.
incredibly hard.
That's why like anybody with alcoholism, they try to stay away from people who are drinking and things like that. But no, a person can survive and they don't have to relapse. But it's hard. They need to put that, and it takes a while. And once an addict, always an addict, I respect when they say that. They stay away from people who are doing certain things because they don't want to fall into that again. Because most people have died in the relapse.
Yes.
If you notice some of the kids who have stopped like the fentanyl and stuff, and they're clean, and something happens and they go back and they do it one more time, they normally die. Your body was so clean that now that dose is just lethal for you. You no longer have a tolerance. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
And that's why they say when you have the naloxone, It's crazy
It's
sad.
crazy sad,
It's crazy,
yeah.
very sad.
It's depressing.
Very sad. We also distribute naloxone for free. So if anybody who's needing it, we do it through the Department of Children and Families. We also train on it. We tell you what it is. Some folks think it's an antidote. It's not. It's an antagonist. And it does not affect anything else. Even if you think somebody's on the floor, even if it's not for an opiate and you use it, you're not going to hurt them. Nothing's going to happen to you. But if it's an opiate, at least you have a chance. There's always two dispensers in each box. So if you think somebody's having an overdose or they took something that had opiates, this is a lifesaver. So what this does, which is super interesting, it goes into the receptors of your brain and flicks off the opiate. But it has a lifetime, right? So which means if you don't know how much fentanyl, how much opiates you had inside of you, that's why you have to be calling 911.
I've seen this.
You've seen it?
Yes, I've seen this before, yes.
Yes, all the
Narcan,
schools have
yes,
it.
Yes, I've seen it
well,
before.
Narcan is the brand, right? Because there's many different brands.
No, but I've seen this brand before.
You've seen this brand.
Yes,
They're one of the
yes.
biggest distributors, but there's other brands. It's called naloxone. It's the actual medicine, right?
Yes.
It's called naloxone. It's not going to affect anything else. Even if the person did not take an opiate and you're using it, it's not going to hurt them. Again, it's not an antidote, it's an antagonist. It was made to go into that receptors and flick off, push off that opiate that is attached to the receptor, right? And in the meantime, you're calling 911. Why? Because this has a life expectancy inside your body, but we don't know how much fentanyl, what the other drugs' life expectancy inside of you are. We don't know how long they're going to last. So you must be calling 911, taking this person to the hospital so they can properly be checked. Because some people have been saved momentarily, then they leave, and then they die.
Yes.
Because the other drug came back, right? This is only flicking it off.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of information
It's
on
just
our
holding
website.
it at bay until
It's
proper...
flicking it off, but that thing is still floating in your body. This is chemistry. It's floating
It's holding
in
it
there.
at bay until proper...
Until their life expectancy dies, and then the other thing comes back. That's what it's been designed to do, to attach to your receptors. That's why your body produces natural opiates. You know, when we're happy, when we're running, your body produces opiates. But they're naturally produced in your body. Plus, there's opiates that it's a different level of opiates, right? That we
course.
produce naturally, which is happy. But I don't know which other questions you have for me. There's a lot of stuff that you can call us. Anybody who wants to volunteer,
I think we covered
please,
all
we
the
need
bases,
volunteers.
I believe so. Please, everyone, volunteer if you wish.
Volunteer if you wish. You have our info. You can put it afterwards in your...
No, of course. I'll link the website, your
Please.
Instagram, all the
Please.
information in
We
the
want
bio.
more young people. We want more young people. We're trying to do things in school. We want to do a mentorship program where we go and we train the kids. I train the kids on this subject every month. But then the kids are going to be the ones teaching other kids. I want children to be talking to children. I want young adults to be talking to the young adults. This is your battle. All I want to do is strengthen you. I want to be your support. I want to be your resource. I want to be that sword that you guys have. But this is your conversation and your generation to win and to fight for.
And it's a conversation that needs to be had.
Yes.
For sure, because I have personal...
122,000 people died in 2023, the same year as my daughter. 110,000 died in 2024. 115,000 died. I think up to now our numbers are over 100,000. So my friend Yvonne Mesa had a book and she was talking about why are we not outraged about human trafficking. And I was thinking, why are we not on fire if a 747 fell every day and we lost 300-400 people on a daily basis, neither you or I will fly in a 747. So why are we allowing hundreds of thousands of people in our nation, most of them under the age of 45, a large majority teenagers and children, because 11 and 12 years old are children.
Yes.
Children. We should be protecting them. This nation should be on fire. Since 2009, fentanyl has been on our streets. In 2009, when I was doing my research, about 39,000 people died. You can look it up in the CDC. They have some info, and I'm sure you have your research too. How did we get here? Because the pandemic was just like a boom, and that goes for mental health. We were all trapped. Why is it when they're trapped? Everybody was trying to reach your kids through this.
Oh, yeah.
Through this. Meeting them in parks. You know, they're not going to school, they're not doing sports, they're not doing their activities. You have a captive audience right here, okay? And then you meet them, and then you send them signals. And then these kids are getting headaches from being in the computer all day. What are they going to do?
Probably found that link or whatever.
What are they going to do? I'm going to try pod to relax because I'm getting headache. That's what they did. So, you know, this is a global thing, and I need everybody to be equally irate. Because again, if a 747 fell every day, nobody will be flying a 747. Why are we allowing these monsters to kill our children? A child should not pay with their life for buying a pill, especially when it was fake. A child should not die because they decided to try marijuana one day and it was laced. Why are we putting so much THC in the pot? Why? Why are we doing all these things? Why is our government not regulating this stuff? Because I know that somebody already that called me told me she was 16, she went into a dispenser, she bought a vape, and she was only 16. And you're supposed to be 21, and she was not carded. So who's regulating? What are we doing? Why are we allowing all these companies, highlighters? I forgot to tell you, that's part of our class when we go to school. So there's a backpack that's a vape, parents. There's highlighters that are vapes. There's USBs that are vapes. There are hoodies that are vapes. There's pens that are vapes. There's watches that are vapes. I have it all on my website. You can see the pictures.
Wow.
Why are they disguising all this? Who are they trying to grab? Why are you disguising it? If you're 21, did you have to disguise something? You smoke because you want to.
Yeah.
You're old enough. So this is why I'm telling you that I am 100% convinced the war is on the children. Because otherwise you would not be making a highlighter that is a vape. I'm sorry.
It really just seems like our generation is at the forefront of this brand new war.
It's a war.
It's a war against
It's a war.
us. You know?
Well,
There's a good chance.
I understand that, but to me, at the end of the day, our worry should be first, like I said, don't go clean somebody else's house if you're not cleaning yours.
Of course.
So our worry first should be our nation.
Yes.
How do we protect our children? How do we do what we need to do? I understand what they're doing exterior. Now I need those funds. I can only understand and respect that they stopped many grants to make sure that people that were taking these grants were using them properly. My foundation is not about politics.
Of course.
Our mission is our mission. And I work with anybody, I don't care, religion, creed, whatever, because children are nothing to do with any political view. Human beings is not a political stand. It is we need to protect them, period. That's it. That's what a nation who's a nation does. A nation who cannot protect its people and its children should not be a nation. And I'm not saying just a mother who lost a child, I'm saying in general. I felt protected when I was growing up as a child, somewhat protected. And that's what I want to see again. I don't feel like that our children, our youth, is truly being protected, okay? And as a nation, we need to focus on where it is. And I believe that if we can get them since they're very young, then it's more difficult for these criminals to get them afterwards. Because I think like in the suburbs or places like that where we work our kids, I think we were just creating lambs for slaughter.
Yes.
Because they were not exposed to this. They don't know what's in the background. They didn't grow up, with maybe gunfire or immigrants or fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And maybe they didn't have that innate thing, let me protect myself because people are trying to get me. Because we didn't put it on them. We thought that we were in a safe place. Yes, you protect your children. Yes, you protect your family. But it never dawns on you that somebody else. But human trafficking is connected with drugs. What is it that drugs and everything is connected, folks.
No,
everything is interconnected. Everything is interconnected. But I would love to see more funds into education for mental wellness. Okay, not mindset. That's for adults.
Yes.
And I respect anybody out there. That's very beautiful. But our kids need to first learn to learn mental wellness in order to understand when they're having anxiety, when they're having stress, when they're going through things, in order for them to be able to navigate and express what they think. And critical thinking. We are not going to win this if we don't teach Not, no, I'm going to ask you why. Why? If we educate you, we tell you which many ways, how they can get you, this is the only way that we're going to win this battle. And of course, protect our nation. Yes, protect our borders. And like I said before, I want to change the laws for fentanyl and many things only because if you're dealing in that stuff, you should be in for 20 years, 25. I don't want to hear about you. And if you happen to have killed somebody, to me, that was murder. End of story.
Yes.
Because you knew that 2 milligrams that I can barely see, protect myself, smell, was going to kill me. You knew it. You knew you were going to intending to kill me. So let's get it off the streets. But let's educate. So shows like you are very, very important.
Of course. And
I thank you for it. Let's go to the schools. Let's start with the young kids. And let's arm them so
Yes.
they're not
and
bombarded.
this is a public service announcement, right? Regardless of politics, what
This
political...
is not about politics. Human life has nothing to do with politics.
Whoever's making whether it's the Chinese, the Indians, the Guatemala,
doesn't matter.
whoever it is.
It doesn't matter.
Allegedly, it could be anyone. Allegedly, so we don't know.
Maybe those families are going through the same struggles we are. We just don't hear about it.
Exactly.
We just don't hear about it because some governments. Listen, we already know that most of the islands around us that are communists are the ones that are helping bring the stuff in here. Who doesn't know that?
Yeah.
So how do we know? But look at those poor people in those countries, what they're going through.
Yeah.
So don't think that misery. It's just funny that Dr. King says that injustice here is injustice everywhere.
Yes.
Right? Because we think that we're not connected, it bleeds. When I was talking about gun violence with some friends in Liberty City, with the Circle of Brotherhood, and thank you, the Circle of Brotherhood, and all of these great organizations, you know what? Some kids in some neighborhoods are dying out of gun violence, but question what are they protecting and what are they selling? So those kids are dying through gun violences, and our kids are dying from the drugs that are coming. So listen, we're all in the same pot. We're all dying of anything and everything related to drugs. That's just what it is.
And to end off here, I just want to say, regardless of your belief, where you come from, religion, in a time where everything's so polarizing, today, how like everything is so left, right, black and white. Life is life. People are people.
Our children are our children.
Children are children. And if whoever is doing this, whoever is making, whether it's another country, a cartel, whatever it is, life is life, and we all need to stand together as his people. As his people. Not even as Americans, yes, but as people, as human beings.
As human beings.
Just understand that.
But as a nation, I hate to say it, and I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face. If you consider yourself a nation based on principles, you need to protect your children. If you don't protect your children, you should not be a nation. I'm sorry. Okay. They're the most precious things that we have. They are our future. Without them, there's no future. Without you guys, there's no future. Right?
That's what I tell boomers all the time, but they don't believe me. You know? I don't know what to say.
Well, but the boomers are here to help you because the boomers are also worried. Remember, my circumstances are not yours.
Okay.
But it's okay. But you know, everything changes. They will change. They'll see. They'll see everything is a growth.
It's been long. Okay, we'll see about that. All right, we'll see. Well,
it's a growth.
Thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you, my friend.
It was an absolute pleasure.
I hope to see you. I hope you join us. Be the light in darkness. That is our motto. Be the light in darkness. Please join us. We need all the help we can get. We're looking for volunteers. We're looking for young people like yourself. Let's go to schools and motivate all these young kids, and let's help them. Let's help the teachers and counselors that are fighting stuff every single day without barely no resources. I don't want to leave that out.
Of course.
But thank you.
Thank you all. And thank you to Carmen.
Thank you.